Welcome to Yaka Digital Network. Picture a football match right here at Mandela National Stadium, but with no referee and no rules. Players grab the ball, tackle violently, and ignore the boundaries. A country operating without enforceable limits on its leaders looks exactly the same. In Uganda, the supreme rulebook that prevents that chaos is the 1995 Constitution. It outlines exactly what the government can and cannot do. But there is a crucial difference between the physical book and how it is actually used. The document on the left is the law. The protective umbrella on the right is constitutionalism, the active practice of limiting government authority to protect your rights. A country can have a beautifully written constitution, but if the government ignores it, the document offers no protection. The rules only matter when they are actively enforced. Think of constitutionalism as a stable building resting on 4 distinct pillars. Let's look at what holds the system up. The first pillar drops in: supremacy of the Constitution. This means every individual and government body is subject to its provisions. Nothing sits higher. The second pillar is the rule of law. Notice the scale. It treats a wealthy politician and an everyday citizen exactly the same. No one gets a free pass. The third pillar is the separation of powers. Power is divided across the executive, legislature, and judiciary, so no single group can abuse its authority. The fourth pillar is accountability and transparency. Government processes must be open to public scrutiny, and officials must answer to the people for their actions. If the executive or legislature breaks even one of these pillars, the limits on authority fail, and the entire protection system collapses into tyranny. To keep those pillars standing, Uganda relies on active watchdogs. The most prominent is the judiciary. When constitutional violations occur, the Court of Appeals sits as the constitutional court right here to review executive actions and strike down illegal laws. Students often confuse the next 2 watchdogs, so let's break down their overlapping mandates on this table. On the left, the Uganda Human Rights Commission monitors state abuses. They have the power to visit prisons, investigate complaints, and educate the public on their rights. On the right, the Inspectorate of Government focuses strictly on good governance. They fight corruption, abuse of office, and administrative injustice by tracking public resources. Let's test this. Pause the video. If a public official is caught stealing hospital funds, which institution investigates the case? The answer is the IGG. Stealing public funds is a direct case of corruption and abuse of office. Without these independent watchdogs actively biting back against overreach, the Constitution provides no actual defense. Even with watchdogs in place, maintaining these protections in developing democracies is extremely difficult. Executive dominance unbalances the system. When one branch exerts too much control over the others, the checks and balances fail. Add corruption to that, and public trust in these institutions erodes completely. But the final vulnerability lies right here, with the public. A significant number of everyday citizens do not fully understand the law. Poverty makes people vulnerable. When citizens prioritize immediate economic survival over long-term legal protections, they lose the ability to defend rights they do not know they have. Let's apply this to a standard UNEB examination question. The prompt asks, suggest reasons why public awareness of the Constitution is vital for democracy in Uganda. To answer this effectively, lay out the direct benefits. First, awareness empowers citizens to demand their rights. Second, it allows them to hold officials accountable. And third, it reduces their vulnerability to political manipulation. Let's tie it all together. We have the core engine, the principles of supremacy, rule of law, separation of powers, and accountability. We have the shields, watchdogs like the judiciary, UHRC, and IGG. And we have the threats, corruption, executive dominance, and limited public awareness. Take a screenshot of this summary for a study guide. For more lessons, practice questions, and exam breakdowns, head over to yaka.cc. See you in the next lesson.